meine sehr verehrten Damen und Herren, sehr geehrte Frau Generalkonsulin Marie-Yvette Pinson-Abalos, lieber Professor Patrick Flores, liebes Team des Gastlands Philippinen, Aurea Lopez und Loen Vito, liebe Künstlerinnen und Künstler, Nana Buxani, Augustine Paredes und MMU, verehrte Gäste, Freunde und Mitglieder des Fotografieforums Frankfurt. Herzlich willkommen zur Eröffnung unserer neuen Ausstellung New Beginnings, Philippine Photographic Art. Zur Ausstellung selber will ich gar nicht viel sagen, das können andere hier viel, viel besser als ich. Ich will nur so viel anmerken. Diese Ausstellung ist nicht nur ein Fenster in die künstlerische Welt der Philippinen, sondern auch ein Teil des großen kulturellen Dialogs, den wir hier im FFF seit über 40 Jahren pflegen. Das Fotografieforum war von Anfang an ein Ort der internationalen Fotokunst. Rund 300 Ausstellungen haben wir seitdem realisiert. Das FFF ist auch und gerade besonders ein wichtiger Ort, um Kultur als Brückenkunst zu verstehen. Brücken zwischen Nationen, zwischen Menschen, zwischen Geschlechtern, zwischen politischen und sozialen Anschauungen. This exhibition, New Beginnings, is part of the cultural program of the Philippine Guest of Honor at the Frankfurt Book Fair. This is a collaborative undertaking of the National Commission for Culture and the Arts, National Book Development Board, Department of Foreign Affairs, and the Office of Senator Loreen Legarda.
I welcome you all tonight to an exhibition that is more of a conversation spanning continents, a dialogue between the Philippines and Germany that transcends language, geography, and time. Under the banner of The Imagination Peoples the Air, the Philippines takes center stage at a Frankfurter Buchmesse 2025. And tonight, through the lens of Filipino ingenuity, we present to you a part of our cultural program, the exhibition New Beginnings, Philippine Photographic Art. The photographs on display are representations of light and shadow that have created an atmosphere of narratives, voices demanding to be heard, realities waiting for recognition. My heartfelt congratulations to the curators Patrick Flores, Andrea Horvey, and Selina Lunsford. This work embodies what I have long believed about the relationship between understanding each other as individuals and cultivating culture. Culture is not mere adornment, but a vital engine that drives understanding between peoples. Waiting for you to experience in this gallery is more than photography. It is the art of presence. Through the perspective of artists Tommy Hafalla, Gina Osterloh, Nana Buxani, MMU, Veejay Villafranca, Wawi Navarroza, Augustine Paredes, and Xyza Cruz Bacani, you will be introduced to the narrative of an archipelago, carrying stories of 7,641 islands, the knowledge of 135 languages, the experience of people shaped by centuries of movement and migrations to shape this human experience. These photographs reveal many of the challenges beyond a national lens. In an era where the world grapples with questions of migration, identity, and belonging, this exhibition of Philippine photographic art offers not answers, but raises necessary questions. What does it mean to be at home in the world? How do we live our humanity amid these moments of displacement? How do we protect memory while moving forward through inevitable change? These artists are creating connections not just across cultures, but also between the past, the present, and the future, between what was lived today and what will be known in history tomorrow. As you immerse yourself in this exhibition, I invite you to let these photographs show you that these stories belong to you as well. Stories of displacement and belongingness, tradition and transition, the pursuit of home in a world that is knowing itself as whole, yet fractured as well. May you enjoy the New Beginnings.
It's a privilege to welcome you this evening to New Beginnings, Philippine Photographic Art. presented here at the Fotografie Forum Frankfurt as part of the Philippines Cultural Program as guest of honor at the Frankfurt Book Fair 2025. Our guest of honor participation carries with it the responsibility and the honor of presenting the breadth and depth of Philippine creativity, not only through our literary works, but across the full spectrum of artistic expression. New Beginnings highlights photography as a vital part of the larger Filipino narrative and stands alongside literature, film, music, and other creative forms. Together, these mediums help us tell you the story of who we are as a people through these layered, interconnected ways of seeing. The photographic works presented here reflect the dynamism of visual culture in the Philippines today. While rooted in history, the works are shaped by present-day realities. These images speak of identity, spirituality, tradition, and transformation, with the featured works grappling with questions that are at once intimate and political: migrant labor, the meaning of home, urban struggle, family survival. Through it all, we see how Filipino artists use the camera not just to document, but to interrogate, to remember, and to reimagine. Die in dieser Ausstellung behandelten Themen wie Vertreibung, Zugehörigkeit, Orientierung an unbekannten Orten und Bewahrung von Erinnerungen spiegeln die Lebenserfahrungen von Filipinos in Deutschland und in der gesamten Diaspora wider. Dass diese Geschichten hier in Frankfurt in den Fokus gerückt werden, ist nicht nur bestätigend, sondern angesichts der mehr als 70.000 in Deutschland lebenden Filipinos vielleicht längst überfällig. Es erinnert uns daran, dass die Geschichten der Filipinos es verdienen, in den Kulturhauptstädten der Welt gesehen und gehört zu werden. In this spirit, we celebrate our shared commitment to dialogue across cultures, through words, images, and all forms of expression. We commend especially the curators Patrick Flores, Andrea Horvey, and Celine Lunsford, including Managing Director Alexandra Lechner, the artists and partners who made this project possible. Their work affirms that the visual arts, like literature, can cross borders and generations. As the Philippines continues its road to the Frankfurt Book Fair 2025, this exhibition helps illuminate the heart of our guest of honor theme, Imagination Peoples the Air. These images, like the stories they contain, make visible what words alone sometimes cannot. Thank you, and invite you to experience New Beginnings with open eyes and an open imagination. And now I turn the microphone over to the curator, Patrick Flores.
Thank you, Consul Ivy. It is with great pleasure to welcome all of you to the exhibition New Beginnings, Philippine Photographic Art. We are all proud and honored to gather a strong group of artists from the Philippines for this exhibition. By Philippines, I mean the archipelago of 7,000 and more islands in Southeast Asia and the Pacific, as well as the diaspora of Filipinos all over the world. What binds the artists from different generations together is their complex perspective on the Philippines, as well as their complex subjectivity as photographic artists. I am sure that my co-curators, Selena Lunsford and Andrea Horvey, will all agree with me that these artists reveal a commitment to the integrity of the photographic form, but also to the quality of the commitment to respond to the social context with sensitivity and urgency. Playing out in this space in Frankfurt is a wide range of expression and techniques, from documentary photography to conceptualist contemporary art, from indigenous communities to private spaces, from intimate portraits of relationships and survival to the everyday resolve to prevail both in struggle and joy. I dare say that this is to date the most significant exhibition of Philippine photography in Germany and outside of the Philippines. I also have to mention that these artists are at the same time painters, poets, cinematographers, and cultural workers. Aside from celebrating the work of these artists in photography, this occasion is also a toast to the fruitful collaboration between the Fotografie Forum Frankfurt and the Philippine Guest of Honor participation at the Frankfurt Book Fair next month. This exhibition forms part of the cultural program of the Philippine participation and of course the much anticipated presence at the book fair. The title New Beginnings implies more than hope. It makes a claim to transform and to crystallize possibilities in the present and the many years to come beyond our lifetime. Thank you very much for sharing this important moment with us. Good evening and please enjoy the exhibition. Thank you.
Guten Abend, liebes Publikum. New Beginnings ist ein Gemeinschaftsprojekt. Selina Lunswort, Patrick Flores und ich haben diese Ausstellung als Kuratorenteam gemeinsam entwickelt und zusammengestellt und wir bringen Werke von 8 verschiedenen Künstlern hier aus den Philippinen hier nach Deutschland. Dafür möchte ich mich ganz herzlich bei allen Künstlerinnen sowie bei Selina und Patrick bedanken, vor allen Dingen für die hervorragende Zusammenarbeit. Thank you so much to the artists. Als ich vor einigen Monaten zur Vorbereitung dieser Ausstellung in die Philippinen reisen durfte, hätte ich mir nicht vorstellen können, welche einzigartige Zusammenstellung von Werken wir heute Abend hier in Frankfurt präsentieren würden. New Beginnings zeigt uns die Lebendigkeit, die Vielfalt und die Kreativität eines faszinierenden Landes. Die 8 Künstlerinnen nutzen das Potenzial der Fotografie, um dringende Fragen unserer Zeit in den Blick zu nehmen. Xyza Cruz Bacani gibt in ihrer Serie We Are Like Air den unsichtbaren Arbeitsmigrantinnen, zu denen sie selbst einst gehörte, eine Stimme. Nana Buxani ist eine unermüdliche Chronistin, von ihr zeigen wir eine Auswahl aus ihrer Arbeiterinnen-Serie. Wawi Navarroza konstruiert mit ihren inszenierten Fotografien neue, visuell dichte Welten. Gina Osterloh erforscht in sorgfältig inszenierten Fototableaus Konzepte von Subjektivität, Körperlichkeit und räumlicher Wahrnehmung. Veejay Villafranca beschäftigt sich mit den Folgen des Klimawandels und der komplexen Verbindung von Spiritualität und Glauben auf den Philippinen. Hafalla bringt uns die alten Rituale der indigenen Gemeinschaften in der Cordillera-Region näher, ein Lebenswerk, das über 4 Jahrzehnte gewachsen ist. MMU ist eine Archäologin des Alltags. In ihren raumgreifenden Installationen setzt sie ihre Beobachtungen der sich ständig verändernden Stadtlandschaft Manilas immer wieder neu in Szene. Und zu guter Letzt Augustine Paredes, der seit vielen Jahren außerhalb der Philippinen lebt und arbeitet, nutzt seine persönlichen Erfahrungen, um tiefgründig über Sehnsucht, Identität und Heimat in der philippinischen Diaspora nachzudenken. Das schöne Bett, leider nicht zu empfehlen für ein kleines Powernap, da fehlt die Matratze. Ja, ich hatte das Glück, während meiner Reise in die Philippinen die meisten der hier präsentierten Künstler persönlich kennenzulernen. Und ich freue mich sehr, dass wir heute zur Eröffnung Nana Buxani, MMU und Augustine Paredes 3 von ihnen hier bei uns haben können. Vielen Dank, dass ihr hier seid. Thank you for being here. MMU, Augustine, where are you? And Nana? I will switch to English because just one note to MMU's work. She brought nearly 1,000 photographs taken over the past 25 years in Manila and created with them a unique site-specific installation here in Frankfurt at FFF. To me, it feels as vibrant and creative as I remember the Philippines to be, or especially Manila. We are also happy to present different generations of artists in this exhibition. Nana, could I ask you a question? As the most senior artist here in Frankfurt, can you take us back to the 80s? When you began working in photojournalism in the Philippines, as one of the few women in the field of, that was largely dominated by men, what were your experience?
Oh, so many. But only bits and pieces, maybe I can say. I work as a documentary photographer, but before that, I was in the newspaper. And in the 80s, I was not allowed inside the darkroom. Only the men photographers were allowed. So I built my own darkroom. And I went into documentary. I didn't have to deal with the macho culture, and slowly built a body of work from assisting first, documentary filmmaker to learning to do cinematography and developing my vision and my voice, doing documentary pictures. But before that, I was also an illustrator, a painter. So you can see some of my works here. Thanks to Selena, who saw it on Instagram. Bring your drawings, so I did bring it. So would I say it was difficult? Maybe at the time for women, there were very few women photographers in the country, but now, so many. Also, it comes with technology, the ease of digital, I think. But before, since it was analog, so you have to learn all the analog things. But I am so happy to be invited here also and to present through the curators the work and be able to convey the issues that we carry around the country, from MM's work to my work, both workers and Gina Osterloh, and all the photographers that are being presented here. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
From the oldest to the youngest, Augustine. So as the youngest among this group of 8 artists, how does it feel to be part of an exhibition alongside Tommy Hafalla, Nana Buxani, as well as Wawi Navarroza, Xyza Cruz Bacani, Veejay, Villafranca, MMU, and Gina Osterloh?
At 31 years old, I never thought I'd be called young again. Hello, I'm Augustine Paredes. I grew up looking at the images of the photographers here. I was lucky to be mentored by Wawi, having conversations with Veejay, and looking at images of Nana and MMU, as well as like all the other photographers that are here. So when I saw the list, it was very important for me to be part of it, not only because these are people that I looked up to, but these are people that told stories that are important in many varied ways. The Philippines, as you all have said, it is comprised by 7,000 plus islands, and there is no singular way of looking at Filipino art. There is no singular way of expressing what it is to be Filipino, whether or not it is told from the Philippines or told from elsewhere. And I think having this exhibition, as Patrick said earlier, it is a significant moment. Because here are the stories that we often are not shown, or if we do, we see them in the periphery. But it is important to be telling these stories, and like again I said, there is no singular way of telling a Filipino story, and I'm happy to be part of this and to have been shown alongside everyone here.
Thank you so much.